Imagine floating in the ocean, a sandy beach just 50 yards away from you. You feel at peace, one with the ocean. And then all of a sudden, a wall of water rises on the horizon, and you realize that it's the one. You quickly spin around towards the shore and start paddling as fast as you can, as a body of water quickly speeds up towards you. You look back at the rising water a few strokes just to be reminded of the beauty that nature holds. And just like that, the wall of water hits you, and as it carries you to the shore, you stand up, and suddenly you're floating on water. You're riding smoothly along the wall, a gentle breeze and light ocean spray hitting against your face. And before you know it, the wall of water is gone, and you've arrived at the shore. Eager to paddle out and experience once again the power of nature. This is what the world calls surfing, and it's something that millions of people enjoy on a day-to-day basis. Surfing has been around for centuries. From the time it was created to present day, it has evolved into a completely different sport but still kept its roots. Surfing is one of the oldest sports still alive today, and along with this, it's one of the only sports that combines athleticism with the power of nature. I've surfed since I was young, and I've been in love with it and everything about it since then. And I've also researched a lot about the origins of surfing and how it's evolved over the centuries. First, I will talk about the origins of surfing and how it was created. Second, I will discuss the culture that surfing brings with it. And finally, I will talk about surfing today and how it's evolved. Surfing is one of the oldest sports still alive today. Along with this, it's one of the only sports that has its own culture and combines athleticism with the power of nature. The act of riding waves with a board was started in Western Polynesia over 3,000 years ago. The first surfers were fishermen who discovered that riding waves back to shore was a faster and more efficient way to bring their fish back to shore. Eventually, surfing went from a part of work to an everyday pastime that people enjoyed. There is no exact recorded date of when surfing started to become a sport, but it is noted that in the 15th century, people of the Sandwich Isles were very fond of the hinalu, or wave sliding. According to the Origins of Surfing, written in an online journal, the first written records of surfing were in the 17th century when the Europeans arrived in Tahiti. Captain James Cook described in his journal how he watched a Tahitian man in a small canoe quickly paddle into waves, and as the wave came to an end, the man would head straight back out and catch wave after wave. The Lions who originally surfed, called the Alihi, had the highest reputation of surf skills. These people developed their own prayers towards the surf gods. They created the process of shaping a board. The boards they created underwent a sacred ritual. Only 3 types of trees were allowed to be made into surfboards, and once the trees were dug up, the surfers would place a fish inside the ground as a thanks to the gods. This is how the process of making a surfboard was created. According to allaboutsurfboards.com, these boards were carved straight from trees, weighed about 100 pounds, and were practically impossible to turn in the water. The Ali'i claimed certain beaches and wooded areas as their own, and only surfers of equal talent were allowed to come into these areas. Any surfer who rode the same wave as an Ali'i was killed, basically as soon as the wave was over. So, it was pretty intense. And these guys basically acted as dictators of the beach. The boards used back then were completely wooden, shaped, and cut from trees. They had 3 different types of boards. The Ala'i was around 8 feet long and used by beginners. The Kiko was around 12 to 18 feet, which is only ridden by skilled surfers. And the Olu was a very long board, around 18 to 24 feet, and was surfed only by people of the Loa family. Now that I've talked about the origins of surfing, I will now discuss the culture that surfing brings with it. Surfing is one of the only sports that brings a full culture along with it, including a way of life, activities, and energy. Surfing, whether it's for sport or for leisure, comes with a unique lifestyle that many people fall in love with. It's waking up before the sun even rises to catch a few waves before class. or it's getting excited about a storm forming 3,000 miles away from you, just hoping that it comes by where you are. Surfing is a relaxed yet thrilling lifestyle, and it's about appreciating nature and what it can do, because nature controls the sport. You always hear about parents wanting to make their kids play sports so they can become pro or be the best at it. But surfing's kind of different, because when people introduce people to surfing, it's not so a future pro can be in the making. It's rather like people want other people to experience the beauty of nature and the beauty of sitting out there in the water. Unlike other sports, surfing is uncontrollable. Humans have no power over whether they can surf or not. Places like Jacksonville, there's waves maybe once every 2 weeks, or 3 weeks even, maybe months. But that's what's fascinating about it, because we just have to sit back and hope for the best. I believe that this teaches people to appreciate what you have while it's present. It also keeps surfers so hooked on it, because in most places you can't surf every day, like I said before. Surfing is also used as a way to express yourself, and a lot of people view it as a way to find their identity. Surfing thrives on uniqueness and creativity. Surfers today are always pushing the boundaries to create new tricks and see who can do the craziest thing on board. There is no right or wrong way to surf a wave. There's a correct way to stand up. Once you get past that point, you have all the freedom in the world to do what you want. A lot of people find themselves through surfing. Surf trips are a popular way of doing this. Imagine surfing in a beautiful foreign area, and you have a few friends hopping from beach to beach, exploring the land in between surf sessions. This is a lifestyle that many people love to do, and it's how we figure out who we are. In the words of Wendy Maple, writer of surf culture, growing up surfing and surf culture was an escape from school, from parents, and from mainstream culture. Basically, surfing is a break from whatever is going on in reality, and it gives people the time to focus on what they need to do. Now that I've talked about the origins and culture of surfing, I'll discuss surfing today and how it's changed. From the Polynesians to present day, surfing has completely changed but still holds on to its roots. Everything from surfboards and the materials worn while surfing are constantly improving to help surfing progress. Surfboards are now made of composite epoxy foam and coated with resin to keep it watertight. A 9-foot longboard today weighs about 30 pounds, whereas the same kind of board about 100 years ago would have weighed over twice as much. With the addition to highly advanced fins, surfers have the ability to pick a board and fin combo to perfectly fit their style. Wetsuits were created to allow surfers to surf year-round. Newer technologies are being made to keep the surfer warmer and lighter while in the water. Even board shorts are being improved to dry faster and be more flexible for better movement in the water. Like the materials used, the professional side of surfing has also evolved throughout the years. Some people get paid to surf in competitions, others get paid to just travel the world and surf at certain beaches. And some even get paid just to take pictures of waves all around the world. According to Surfline.com, the average professional surfer gets around $60,000 a year, and this doesn't even include the money they make from endorsements, which is about $40,000 a year. Surf travelers like Dane Reynolds and Jack Freestone get paid to simply travel and make surf videos of them around the world. Photographers like Clark Little capture amazing shots of waves and earn a living through that. When it comes to what happens while riding a wave, surfing has evolved at a crazy rate recently. Surfers around the world are constantly pushing the limits of what can be done on the board, from launching themselves 20 feet into the air to dropping in on 60-foot waves and hoping the best that you can survive that massive amount of water. Surf competitions even give out additional money to the surfer who can perform the most innovative move during the contest. So today, I've talked about the origins of surfing, surf culture itself, and how it's evolved over the years. Surfing is one of the oldest sports alive today, and along with this, it's one of the only sports that has its own culture and combines athleticism with the power of nature. In conclusion, although many people view surfing as just a sport or a pastime, to millions of people all over the world, it's a love and it's a lifestyle that will keep until we die.